By the time I turned 30, I had made and lost $6 million. And in the 20 years since, working on reversing my age and building other companies that have done hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, here's what I wish I could have told myself when I was 30. I interviewed 400 luminaries and statistically analyzed what worked for them in order to figure out the most important things. This is a distillation of my knowledge and many others. Number 1, say no a hell of a lot more. You got 24 hours in a day. You can spend those hours creating things that matter with your family, with your friends, with your community, or working on yourself. Or you can spend those hours trying to impress people you don't even care about, and frankly, who don't care about you at all. So if you want to say no, say it. You can be kind and say no. Number 2, finding yourself is total BS. People who go on a journey to find themselves end up lost because they just become what others expect them to be. You do not find yourself. You only create yourself. You feel a great sense of freedom when you realize you get to pick who you want to be because there's no other way to do it. It's not about discovering, it's about choosing. Myth number 3, when you say you'll try, you're lying to yourself because your language sets your limits. When you say, I'll try, you're already telling your subconscious that you're going to fail. So your words matter more than you think, even the little ones. And you might tell yourself, oh, but I meant this when I said that. No, your subconscious listens precisely. Integrity in your word matters. Either you do the thing, you choose the thing, or you don't, but don't try. Lesson number 4, if your beliefs suck, your life will suck. Because the stories you tell yourself shape how your body shows you the world. That experience creates your beliefs about what's possible. Your habits, your decisions, and outcomes stem from what you believe. If your beliefs are broken, so is your reality. So question your beliefs regularly. Are they true? Do you know they're true? Or might there be something bigger? Make a process of questioning everything you think is true at least once a year. You'll grow faster than anyone else around you. Lesson number 5, a high IQ by itself doesn't make you intelligent. You can chase IQ points. In fact, I've raised my IQ by more than 12 points, and you can do it too with biohacking. But what really matters is not your IQ. It's how quickly can you learn, absorb, and apply new knowledge. The world's evolving fast, but you can train your brain to learn even faster. In fact, you can hack your brain to learn faster than anyone with a much higher IQ, and you'll do better than they do. So learn how to learn, then learn the things you care about, and life is good. Number 6, smart drugs are a cheat code for your brain. Some of them are illegal, but most of them aren't. They sharpen your mental focus and your ability to concentrate. I'm not saying you have to take them, but if you're not at least taking care of your brain with nootropics, you're missing out on a ton of potential. Take smart drugs and learn how to learn faster, and you'll set yourself on a path to unlocking things you wouldn't believe are possible. I have taken smart drugs almost every single day since I was 26 years old, and it has made the hugest difference in my life. And if I could have told myself, double down on that even more when I was 19, I would have. Lesson number 7, face your inner demons head on. There's huge value in facing your inner demons and seeing where they really come from. We've been doing this for thousands of years through rituals and spiritual practices. So go to the jungle, go on a vision quest, do a 10-day silent meditation Vipassana receipt, fast in a cave on a vision quest the way I did. Glue EEG electrodes to your head to see what's going on in there and access altered states. In fact, my company 40 Years of Zen does that. I spent 6 months of my life with the electrodes glued to my head. And if I could have told myself to do that more when I was 30, it would have been such a cheat code. You can even do advanced breathing exercises until you leave your body. Just allow yourself to do this one time, and it can change everything in your life. And do it with the help of experts guiding you. Lesson number 8, the breath is the world's most powerful drug. Breathing properly changes your brain chemistry. And we've known this for a long time, but most people still breathe unconsciously. It's so simple, yet most of us just don't pay attention to it. Even the godfather of LSD therapy eventually changed his psychedelic practice to focus on breathing instead of LSD when they made it illegal in the 1950s. So change your breath and you can change your life. Lesson number 9, fear of failure is what causes failure. Failure is scary, but not because you'll actually die, but because your body physically feels afraid. That's because back in the day, if you failed, you might get kicked out of the tribe and then a tiger would eat you or you'd die all by yourself. So feeling fear of failure kept you in your tribe and saved your life. But that's not the world we live in anymore. So today, failure doesn't kill you, but your fear of failure will stop you from doing things that are worth doing, but might be scary. When you learn to consciously make your body less afraid of failure by just learning how to control it, you'll find a ton of energy you never knew you had, and things that used to be scary become things you can do. Lesson number 10, average is the enemy. And people with big ideas, unusual ideas, are never average, and they're always hated at first. The critics will come for you if you do something that is not average. It's guaranteed. So if you're not pissing someone off, you're probably not doing anything worth talking about. Being average is the same as being normal, and that's the worst thing you can be. Lesson 11, don't push your limits for too long. We're all capable of pushing ourselves without ever letting your body or your brain rest. And I have done this. I have worked 100-hour weeks. I started a giant company while I was a vice president at a publicly traded company. And after a while, when you don't get enough sleep and you're always focused, you're always pushing, you're always working out, you're always doing something, your body gets a signal like you must be being hunted, like you're in danger. Different systems start to shut down, especially the systems that keep you young and calm and peaceful. So it's cool to push hard. And what you've got to do is push hard and then rest. Push hard and then rest. And if you give up on the rest, you'll burn out way faster than you think, and you won't feel it happening until it's pretty far along. So don't be afraid to push, but don't be afraid to rest either. You don't have one without the other. I wish I would have known this in my 20s. It would have made such a difference. In my 30s, I think it would have been twice as productive if I would have chilled out every now and then. Number 12, miracles are only possible in the morning. If you start your day reacting to the world, it guarantees failure. The world around you doesn't even know about your dreams, your goals, or your well-being. So if you start your day checking your phone or emails or anything else that lets someone else set your agenda, you're done. So instead, you start your day by putting yourself first. Meditate, move, make plans, and take care of those around you and the things that are important to you, and then check in and face the rest of your day. Lesson 13, if you're a man, stop thinking with what's in your pants. You want to learn to redirect your sexual energy into being a better human. Redirecting it can help you achieve more than you would ever imagine in your life. This is not about celibacy, it's about mastery. Your stress goes down, your energy goes up, and you kick more ass when you're not constantly looking at porn, constantly focusing on release, and instead focusing on intimacy in a sacred way and understanding that it's a dance, not a race to the finish. Sex is one of the best natural drugs. Sex with a conscious partner creates neurochemicals that put you in a flow state, kind of the same way that psychedelics do. It's one of the most powerful natural highs you can get. It's just that you never learn this unless you actually take a class on it or you read a book on it. So watching porn, it's like junk food for your brain and for your soul. It messes with your brain chemistry in all the wrong ways. So if porn changes your brain for the worst and conscious intimacy changes it for the better, be an expert in conscious intimacy and watch what it does for you in your relationships. Lesson number 15, waking up early does not make you a good person. There is no moral high ground for waking up at 5 in the morning. What matters most is getting high quality sleep when you sleep best. So you got to find your natural rhythm and honor it. And that's where you get your power. Some people do wake up at 5, and that's great. Some people do better waking up at 7 or 8, and that's okay too. Know what works for your biology. We are not all the same. Lesson number 16. High quality sleep is way better than just getting more sleep. 8 hours of junk sleep is not nearly as good as 6 hours of amazing sleep. In fact, in studies, people who sleep 8 hours die more often than people who only need 6.5 hours to feel well rested. Because if you sleep better, you'll be healthier, and healthy people need less sleep. So if you're not at least paying attention to the quality of your sleep, you're wasting a huge amount of energy in your life every single day. Track your sleep, hack it, and make sure you're getting quality rest. There is no higher return on your life than getting better sleep. And yes, I've tracked my sleep almost every single day since I was 33 years old. I just wish I would have known to do it even earlier. Lesson number 17. You don't have to run a marathon. Running a marathon doesn't make you a better person. In fact, too much cardio oftentimes does more harm than good. The best performers don't do endless cardio. They stimulate the right hormones using the right protocols at the right times. You want to train smarter, not harder, and not spend all of your life cranking out the miles. If you want to run a marathon to prove something to yourself, go for it. But doing it regularly just takes too much time and energy, and it's not that good for your body either. Lesson number 18. If you feel hungry, make sure you're hungry for food. People eat when they feel a lack. In fact, I used to eat when I was lonely. So sometimes it's a lack of food. Sometimes it's a lack of energy, even though you had food, it was just the wrong food. Sometimes it's a lack of sleep. And sometimes it's a lack of water. But often it's something deeper. It's a lack of love, connection, or even a feeling of safety. If it's something deeper, eating food only makes things worse. Your body's trying to get you to do something, it's just not telling you what to do. So learn the difference between real hunger, a craving that's not real hunger, and emotional hunger, and it'll change your relationship with the world around you for good. Lesson 19, feed the little bastards in your gut. Your gut bacteria are more powerful and more important than you think. They're at the root of feeling really good or feeling really bad. They have the power to make you fat, tired, and depressed, or to give you a ton of energy and mental clarity. When you learn how to feed the bacteria in your gut, they'll take good care of you. If you don't know they exist, they will not take good care of you. Your stress equals their stress equals brain fog, leaky gut, allergies, and a lot of work. Lesson number 20, if you want to change your life, then track it. That's because how do you know you're improving if you're not tracking something? Your body will automatically tell you you're doing a good job because you did something you believed worked, even though it wasn't. So you can truly only improve what you can measure so that you know you're improving instead of just believing you're improving. So track anything that's important to you. If it's the quality of your sleep, get a sleep tracker. If it's your diet, write down what you're eating and do a little research. If it's your performance at whatever you want to do, track it, measure it, and see if it's improving. And if it's not, do something else. If I would have known this when I was 300 pounds, I would have actually stopped over-exercising and eating a low-fat diet because they weren't working. It took me years of suffering and struggling and working really hard because I believed something would work because I never bothered to track it. Lesson number 21, remove anything that gives you constant stress. And stress is really good for you in short bursts. It's called exercise, it's called effort. Every system in your body benefits from stress followed by recovery. It makes you stronger. But constant stress, the kind that never ends, it sucks the life out of you. And it's the kind of stress that actually can shorten your life. So if something's a stressor, whether it's a person, even a family member, or anything in your life, make a commitment to change it or to change yourself so that it's no longer a stressor. Constant stress, make a change. Lesson 22, you can put a price tag on happiness, but only up to a certain amount. I told myself that I'd be happy when I got rich. And when I made $6 million at the age of 26, I looked at a friend, I'm not proud of this, and I said, I'll be happy when I have $10 million. The lesson of this is that more money doesn't make you happier once your basic needs are met. And you might have heard it before. So roll up your sleeves and do whatever it takes to know you've got your bases covered. And then you focus your energy on doing great things that matter deeply to you. Studies show it takes about $78,000 of household income, but these studies were done before the currency got inflated, so that's probably around $100,000 in today's dollars. So yes, money will make you happy up to that point, but going above it, it makes a few things easier, but it doesn't change your happiness. Only you change your happiness. Lesson 23, wealth comes from feeling joy and happiness. Happy people are more productive, they're more creative, and they're more successful. If you can focus on learning how to be happy, on doing things that bring you happiness, wealth comes. And if you do things that you hate, that make you stressed all the time, wealth feels like a struggle. Lesson 24, the less you have, the more you gain. And society's been telling you a message. You're supposed to have a lot of stuff. But stuff doesn't make you happy, just like money doesn't make you happy. In fact, having lots of junk accumulated weighs you down. So get rid of the things that don't bring you value, that just clutter your life. When you create a little bit of clear space in your life, you make room for peace and for things that truly matter. I'm not saying you shouldn't have toys. I'm just saying you probably don't need all the things that are around you. And when you just take a few minutes to clean things up, it does change your brain and how you see the world. Lesson 25, you'll like this one. Get high with a little help from your friends. Your social circle, it's a drug. Use it wisely. Who you hang out with changes your brain chemistry for the better or worse. Find people who are inspiring to you, people who challenge you to grow. Being around the right tribe will make you stronger, smarter, and more successful. And being around people who complain, people who are victims, people who are angry, they'll bring you down and you won't even see it happening. Lesson 26. Your relationship will either lift you up or tear you down. In fact, it's one of the most important decisions you can make. And if I would have known this when I was 30, I would have learned that love is not enough to build a good relationship. Love is necessary, and so is a partner who's compatible with you. So if your relationship is toxic, work on fixing it the same way you would work on losing weight or on building a business or on getting a raise. And if that doesn't work, it's okay to leave it. Life is too short to spend years on a bad relationship. Fear is what keeps most of us stuck in dead-end relationships. Don't be one of them. So choose a partner who's the right partner and have love, but don't base everything on love. I wish I would have known this earlier. Love's amazing. So is an amazing partner. Lesson 27, learn the box breath. The box breath is what Navy SEALs and Special Forces operators use to instantly calm their nervous system if something triggers them. This is something that I could have used to make myself go to sleep faster when I didn't know how to do that. To do it, you just breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 or more seconds, hold your breath for the same number of seconds, breathe out slowly for the same number of seconds, and then hold your breath empty for that. And you can work yourself up to 20 seconds, where you're taking 1 breath per minute, but all you really need to do is 4 seconds on each side of that. And when you do it, you can instantly drop yourself out of stress mode. And let's face it, you might be in stress mode right now without even knowing it. Lesson number 28 is hurry, meditate faster. What? Well, meditation costs you the time it takes to do it. So it's going to give you a higher return on your energy than anything else. So learn to meditate. But once you learn how to meditate, understand there are technologies and techniques that allow you to meditate more in way less time. So just like you want to get better sleep instead of more sleep, don't you want to get better meditation instead of more meditation? There's a whole world you can unlock when you learn that meditation doesn't have to take a lot of time. Lesson number 29. Nature unlocks higher performance. Most of us live in sterile environments without a lot of life around in cities, and it does suck the energy out of you. You weren't built for that. You were built for the wild. So make it a point, put it on your calendar to spend some time outside in nature if you can. And if it's not in nature, at least go for a walk where you can see the sky without sunglasses on. See trees, breathe fresh air, eat real food, sweat under the sun, and maybe even shiver in the cold, and your nervous system will thank you. Lesson number 30 is one of the big ones. It's that gratitude is stronger than fear, because fear drains your energy all the time, and it's usually not even real. But gratitude is a signal. When you feel it instead of think about it, it turns off fear at a cellular level, which means it doesn't take courage and pushing all the time. You save courage for when there's actually danger and you do it anyway because you're in charge of yourself. The rest of the time when you're feeling fear and it's not really scary, use gratitude instead of fear and it'll drop you out of fear. You'd be a hell of a lot happier and more productive. I really wish I'd have understood this one. Lesson 31 is the most profound of all these lessons for you. And if I would have understood what this meant when I was 30 or even 20, I can't imagine where I'd be in my life right now. And it's that you can forgive without telling someone what they did was okay. And gratitude is the key to forgiveness. And when you learn to be grateful for the worst things that happened to you, to just have one little spark of gratitude, that means that you can take the step to truly forgive. And what forgiveness is rewiring your nervous system so you're no longer triggered, no longer trapped by an old trauma. You have to say, I forgive you to forgive someone. You just have to learn to reprogram your nervous system so that you're not holding old grudges. And when you do it, the amount of free energy in your brain, in your body, goes through the roof. And this is the most powerful upgrade that you can have to your life. You learn how to turn on gratitude And then to feel forgiveness for all the people who've done bad things to you, including the bullies in 5th grade, including whoever was mean to you. And when you let go of those things, not in your mind, but in your body, there's a whole level where no one can control you because you don't have triggers anymore. And that'll make you live longer, perform better, and be happier than you ever thought possible. If this feels like 31 things, how could I ever do them all? That's called fear. Don't do them all. Pick 3, do those, and then come back.